everything that rocks. CJ92.
Hey, it's Diamond J. Terrence. Welcome to another edition of the CJ92 Rock Room. With us today, of course, we got Clay, and the lovely Brittany, great Canadian rock act known as Head of the Herd. Thanks for stopping by there, folks.
Thanks for having us.
Great new music, which we're going to showcase here coming up on the web very, very soon. Let's talk. We'll get right into it. You guys are on the road. You're touring with your brand new album, Bird on a Roof, right now. Yeah. And we were talking before we talked about this, how special this album is and the way you recorded this compared to your other two albums. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we pretty much, like our last record, we were lucky enough, we had a lot of success with it, and so when it came time to do a new one, we wanted to just not copy-paste that thing that worked. We wanted to do something different. So we went and wrote a pretty, interesting batch of songs, and then we picked the producers. Essentially, we couldn't find one person we thought could do the whole record justice. So we found a couple different producers. So we went down to Georgia to work with Mark Neal. So he's the guy who did Brothers by the Black Keys, which is a record that when Clay and I first became friends, we really bonded over that. And we called him, and he picked up the phone. So we flew to Georgia and worked with him. And this guy's studio is like a time machine, man. Like, everything is from the 50s. His recording style is from the 50s. Everything is American-made and weighs a ton.
But that's almost your sound. It's kind of going back.
Yeah,
it works perfectly, right, Clay?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a bit more. His recording production style was a bit more stripped back, focus on the song, not a lot of overdubs. It was all. The bass and drums were done live off the floor. It was
Get that echo going, right?
Yeah. It was really interesting process. We learned a lot working with him.
Brittany, your take on it, on the third album?
It's 3.0. It is. How much am I allowed to swear? It's that good. It's really great.
It was a good experience. It was a great experience for you down in Georgia and that.
You know, and for my portion of it, I did some vocal recording at with Garth's studio in a couple of tunes. So.
That's only step one. Yeah. We then flew over to England to go work with Ian Davenport. And so he's a guy, he made the Band of Skulls records, which the first two, which we really love. And again, we called him and he picked up the phone. So we flew over to Wales and England, and we worked in the studio that just had all this history to it. And I got to play the piano from Bohemian Rhapsody on this album.
You played Freddie Mercury's recording piano.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It was terrifying.
You might look in the piano and tell people what you did.
I did that. And the thing is, when I was playing, we had this one song, it's the last song on the record, called When the Plane Dives, and it's like a 7-minute piano epic, and I was playing that, and it's like super slow and moody. We had the lights down, and then all of a sudden I saw my reflection in this black piano, and I thought Freddie saw his reflection in his piano, and I just wrecked the take. I just totally ruined it.
That's incredible. That's a really cool story. Clay, any other great stories in England there, in Wales?
Yeah, I think for me, it was just the process of getting, I really enjoy seeing the production side of things and how people operate and how people work. So there were two very completely different styles. Mark was really stripped back. It was all about the performance. It was not a lot of overdubs, and it was a lot more laid back atmosphere. He'd play us records for 3 or 4 hours a day. You know, we'd say, oh, this is what inspires us. And he'd be like, well, here's who inspired them. And he'd just keep bringing us back record after record. And we just listen to vinyl.
So you got a bit of an education as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big history education in music. So, and then Ian was just the hardest working producer I've ever seen. He didn't stop. He would show up at the studio around 11:30. We get to work at noon, and we wouldn't stop.
Which is 4 a.m. for a band. You know what I mean? You didn't want to be.
And then, but then we'd work till 2 a.m. His ability to focus all day was incredible and something to see. So,
Brittany, stories in England at all?
You know, I didn't get a chance to go to England for that part of it.
Yeah.
But
pretty much the two of us, we've always written and made the records, and then live, to do that live, you need a 5-piece.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for coming by. Always important. Beautiful harmony, obviously.
Dude. And then the next step, though.
Okay, I was going to say step 3.
To the West Coast to work with Garth Richardson and Ben Kaplan. And so Garth, he's the guy, he made Rage's first record. He made our last record, along with the Finger 11 dudes who made our last one. But we had these 2 songs, including the new single, All the Way, that were just this needs the Garthness. So we went back, did a couple with him, and then I produced a couple, and that makes the record.
You know, I was listening to the first single, All the Way, and you have right off the top, kicks right in with a chorus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many vocals is that? I mean, it just.
That's it's a couple me's, a couple you's.
Yeah, it's like a triple Alice in Chains kind of sound rolling in. It sounds great, by the way.
But we were just I think when this song starts, we should just have our right.
Yeah.
Just right to it.
All right, Head of the Herd's new album, Birds on a Roof, is out now. The new single, All the Way. Check for them, of course. They'll be opening for Finger 11 in a city near you, okay?